is Plum and welcome back to another speed build, and this time I'm finally doing apartments on The Sims. This is actually just base game because I'm kind of making this for The Sims 4 for rent pack, and I'm super excited about it. I don't know the exact date of when it's coming out, although I can just like very easily Google it. I'm not gonna do it. I don't know why. But yeah, this is kind of inspired by that pack. I don't know if there's going to be any different stuff. Like, if you want to use this with a for rent pack, like, I don't know if there's anything that you have to add. But either way, this is kind of like a ready made apartment for you guys. And I'm actually pretty excited to do this and maybe also play with it because recently I haven't been playing with The Sims. I've just been building a lot. So maybe I'll play some in my own time. Maybe I'll record it. Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing today. So what's gonna happen is just I'm gonna kind of fully furnish just one unit and basically just duplicate everything, because that's kind of how apartments work. I know they're kind of different usually because some people, like, different people live there, so they're gonna have to like eventually decorate it differently. But I was thinking, like, if you wanted to use this, then I don't want to decide your Sims personalities for you. So these are just kept kind of minimal and simple, and just I kind of just made them super generic, super showroom like, if that makes sense. So just the basics, like you have a bed, you have a bathroom, you have like a super tiny kitchen, no dining area, and then just a living room. I went away with a dining area because your Sim's gonna eat on the couch anyway and even on the bed. So I just thought, for a very tiny space like this, like maybe you don't need a dining space. You know what I mean? Because it's pretty cramped already. So I figured like adding a dining space would just cramp it up even more. So I just thought, just why not just ditch it? So I feel like it's my first time doing that because I'm always adding either like dining spaces or even just like an island counter. So that's what I usually do, but for this one I skipped it. And then so I'm just kind of fixing things up here and there. So right now I'm building the living room, and I kind of switched up the place of the bed a little bit just so I could put a nightstand beside it later on. And here I'm just adding a TV, and granted the TV is probably too big for this house. I mean, you can literally see the TV from everywhere inside the house because this is a huge TV and this is such a tiny space. But I ended up really liking this because it's such a like a tiny cozy space, I think. So it's cute, I like it. And then I ended up kind of duplicating this shelf just so the the thing doesn't float because I sized it down. I know there's better ways to do this, and probably with a tool mod, but I kind of broke my tool mod. I think there's a way to use tool mod in build by, and I feel like I haven't updated my mods to kind of work that way. So I'm probably gonna do that like sometime soon, but for now we're just gonna have to make do with these. And then here I am just fiddling with the roof of this house, and I'm not going to cut it out, but I went a little bit ham on the roofing on this one, and I ended up just placing a very simple one. Yeah, I ended up with this like triangle roof. I don't know what the actual name for it is called, but I ended up really liking this roof actually. So I'm cool with it, and I actually deleted the window in the bathroom because it just didn't look good with it. So yeah, and then I changed up the columns to white just because I felt like it worked better for the colors that I was going for. So yeah, and now, of course, in true plumtownie fashion, I'm going back on the inside and going back out. And yeah, now I'm just landscaping, and I'm really proud, honestly, of how I've been improving. I think, if I may say so myself, on landscaping. Like, I feel like I'm not overdoing it anymore. I'm also not underdoing it because I used to like not like there was no in between. Like, I would either overdo it or just like not do it at all. So I'm pretty proud of how I found that balance, I think. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Actually, like, that's pretty much it for the like majority of the build, for the main part of the build, because for the most part it's just the same exact house duplicated like 5 times, just so there's like 6 different units. And then yeah, it's just, I was surprised honestly by how easy this is to duplicate, because I thought that was going to take me such a long time to like duplicate and kind of replicate the entire house, as like a 1 by 1 replica. And it turned out pretty well actually. Like there was just some things that you have to kind of fiddle with, which is like super tiny. Like I just had to redo the landscaping and also add in the mailbox because it wasn't part of the room and stuff like that. But for the most part, for the like basic structure, it was super easy, and I was really proud of how this turned out. Now I'm just duplicating it, but also rotating it just so they're facing each other. And I thought I was gonna have like a super hard time on this because I don't know, it's just weird because it's like backwards. But I ended up actually liking it. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. I was kind of confused in the beginning, and I ended up like duplicating stuff, which is why I don't know, everything got weird for a while. But I ended up fixing it. And then I added some trims on the roof also, and I also really like that, to be honest. So a bunch of this footage is just me actually just like duplicating and stuff, but I didn't want to cut it out because this video is kind of short as it is. So I just wanted to keep that in and kind of show you my entire process. But yeah, for this part, it's mostly just the same, just duplicating all the rooms and then just adding in the mailbox and the window on the roof, and then also like the landscaping, which is super simple, but I think it worked out well. Then here I am just testing it on different lighting situations. But yeah, for the most part, I really like how this turned out. I was actually kind of nervous to do this in the beginning. I was actually thinking of doing townhouses, and who knows, maybe I'll actually build some townhouses even before the pack comes out. But for right now, I was thinking of just doing apartments because they're kind of close to my comfort zone, and because they just look like houses, like tiny houses, all like duplicated and, together. But yeah, now I am just thinking of ways on how to make them look more together and not just, like a lot with 6 different houses on it that look exactly the same. So I'm kind of trying to build like a pathway. And for some reason, like I don't know how, I guess it's possible with the tool mod, but I don't know why like fences are not allowed to like be put on the outer edge. You know what I mean? Like it's cut off right there. So I ended up like covering that up with a tree later on, but it's just so annoying. Okay. So see, those are the trees. I ended up like going with the different trees and just seeing how each one of them looked. But I think I ended up, yeah, I think these are the final ones because they look, I don't know. I think they look kind of grand enough to be part of the main entrance, but they're not too overpowering, if that makes sense. And then right now I'm just messing with the terrain paint, which is not always my strong suit, especially because for some reason, like I really can't figure out the controls on this one. So I think I ended up with this just like flowery thing, and I ended up really liking that. So I just went with that and just kind of erased the sides a little bit just so it doesn't, have a straight line, if that makes sense. So that's what I went with. I'm really happy about that decision because it looks like I kind of landscaped this a little bit better than I actually did. But I ended up adding some trees also and ended up actually like landscaping it still. And then I just added these trash bins, which thankfully I didn't forget, and I also didn't forget the mailboxes. We have 6. So yeah, I think that's the way the pack will work. Like there will be like separate mailboxes. I'm not too sure on that, but just in case, I put different mailboxes for each of the houses because I feel like that will make the most sense anyway, even though you're just playing pretend and you don't have the pack. So I just went with that. And then these are like the extra landscaping stuff that I did. Not too much. Like I just added like a couple of trees and then just this little extra one in front of the whole like area. So that's what I did. And now we're nearing the end of the build. I'm just adding some lights, some outdoor lights. But yeah, I hope you guys like this build. If you want to download it, it's on the gallery. My gallery name is just plumtownie. So just find me on there and just download this if you want to use it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.